Hey, what is going on, guys? So today I'll be giving you guys an updated version of my Blaze Fenix OTK deck. This deck, of course, revolves around the two-card OTK combo of Fusion Gate and Chain Material that basically allows you to banish fusion materials from your hand, field, deck, or graveyard for a turn to where you can fusion summon Blaze Fenix, the Very Bombardment Bird, and Ignition Beast Volcanon. They both require a Machine and Pyro to fusion summon, and Blaze Fenix can burn the opponent for 300 times the amount of cards on the field. An Ignition Beast on Fusion Summon can destroy itself and a monster the opponent controls, then burn them for the original attack of that monster that it destroyed. So basically you're just looking to burn your opponent for game in that one turn with those cards. And I am actually really afraid with the upcoming ban list that Konami will decide to limit Blaze Fenix or possibly ban it because of how powerful it is in combination with Elder God Nodin and Instant Fusion, and how it can even be viable in Ignites as well. So I figured I wanted to put together the best possible version of this deck to at least be able to have to play for maybe another week or two before I may have to say goodbye to my beloved Blaze Fenix. So I did make a lot of changes from the previous list. I've been testing out online. It's been doing really, really well. It's been a lot more consistent, in my opinion. So I figured I'd go ahead and show that off to you guys. So starting off, we have the free card D. It is a machine, of course, and it does give us an extra draw power to draw into our two-card OTK combo. The free Swiss Scarecrow to, of course, keep us in the game so we can eventually draw that combo. Then we have the free Fire Hand, which is our Pyro for Blaze Fenix, and the free Ice Hand. Of course, the hands, they're useful for popping cards in the opponent's side of the field. They're good for deck thinning. They're good for stalling since you just keep putting monsters on the board. Then also they are level 4, so it does give you access to rank 4s if you do need them in emergency situations as well. Then for the final monster, we have the 2 Max C. This is useful because most of the format relies on special summoning right now. So we can take advantage of that with Max C just to get more draws that help us to get to our 2-card OTK. From the last list, I was previously playing the 4 elemental heroes required to play Electrum, which is Bubble Man, Avion, Berstanatrix, and Clayman, but I did cut that. Those 4 monsters are cards that are really dead if you draw them. They really don't do anything for you. All they do is they help you to make Electrum, which of course can, on Fusion Summon, it shuffles all banished cards back to their owner's decks, so it basically allows you to loop the burn damage you can get with Blaze Fenix, the Brain Bombardment Bird. I decided to cut it so I can put in more consistency cards. The Fire and Ice Hand, the extra Fire and Ice Hands are a couple cards I did add in. And I did find too that with cutting that, I can really easily get 8,000 to 9,000 damage with just free Blaze Phoenix alone. And then some more damage as well with Ignition Beast Volcanon. So in testing I have found that the exclusion of the engine for Electrum has been doing really, really well. So that is it for the monsters, total of 14. Now on the spells. So starting off, we have the free Fusion Gate, which is the first of our 2-card OTK combo. Then we have the 2 Terraforming to search out our free Fusion Gate. I bumped Duality up to 3 since I do have the extra space now. And as far as special summoning on your own turn is concerned, you really only do that when you have the OTK. So Duality is just really good since it gives you a pretty good chance of actually getting to one of your 2 combo cards that you need, since it does dig you 3 cards deep into the deck and lets you pick one. So Duality is really good for that purpose. Then finally we have the 1 Day of Peace for its obvious stall abilities and also the fact that it gives you another card. I also did, from my previous list, take out the free Upstart Goblin, since as I said with Blaze Phoenix, a lot of times with Blaze Phoenix and maybe even the added Ignition Beast as well, I may be only able to put on 8,000 to 9,000 damage to my opponent depending on how many cards they have. So I don't want to give my opponent too much life with Upstart Goblin to where they're out of OTK range, so that is why I did take out the Upstarts. So that was 9 spells. Now for the final 17 traps. So starting off, we have the second of our 2-card OTK combo in the free Chain Material. This is the card that allows us to banish fusion materials from our hand, field, deck, or graveyard this turn when we fusion summon. So Chain Material is the card that allows us to be able to fusion summon as many times as we want to, as long as we have fusion materials. And of course we need Fusion Gate face up to be able to make that work. Then we have the free Phoenix Chain for effect negation and also for stopping attacks as well, which does help the grind game of this deck. Then we have the free Reckless Greed. This is in place of the free Upstart Goblins. It's useful for the fact that it draws us 2 cards instead of 1, so giving us a better chance of actually drawing into one of our 2 cards that we need for the OTK. Then also we have so much other draw cards in this deck that we're not really too worried about the drawback of not being able to draw for the next two turns with Reckless Greed, since we do have so many other draw cards that can replace those draws. And of course, it is nice when we're able to use 2 or 3 Reckless Greeds at the same time to kind of mitigate that downside. Then we do have the Free Threatening Roar to, of course, keep us in the game, so we can eventually draw those combo cards. The 2 Dark Bribe to negate those spell and trap card effects that could possibly stop our combo. The 2 Dust Tornado, since it is back row removal, and it also allows us to set our chain material from our hand on our opponent's turn to more safely be able to set it and be able to play it on our turn. And then for the final trap, we have the 1 Solemn Warning, just for stopping those summons and being able to stop their effects before they happen. So that is it for the main deck, total of 40 cards. I was highly considering playing Temple of the Cain, since I now have Chain Material that I can play on my turn and Reckless Greed that I can play on my turn. But kind of similar to the Elemental Heroes, it's a card that can be dead in a lot of situations unless you have other cards that make it useful, so that's why I did personally omit Temple of the Cain as well. So now on to the extra deck. So starting off, we of course have the free Blaze Fenix, the Burning Bombardment Bird. This is the main card that we're going to be using with our 2-card OTK to be able to burn our opponent for game. Then we also have the free Ignition Beast if we need the extra burn damage or even just need to pop an opponent's monster. Then for Xyz, we have the 1 Abyss Dweller. Karen Grogan, which is useful for redirecting effects that would target 1 card in the field, like usually our Fusion Gate, to another card to protect Fusion Gate. The 1 Castell. Diamond Dyer. Exciton Knight. 101. 103 Ragnar Zero. It's useful in some matchups that where they have monsters that will have attack that's different from the original, and then the fact that it also allows us to draw a card is very useful as well in a deck like this that needs to combo off. Then for the final Xyz, we have the 1 Ptolemaeus and Diamond for, of course, Burning Abyss and Shaddolls. You could play a rank 8 Xyz like Felgrand or Coach King Giant Trainer, since Blaze Snakes is level 8, and you could play rank 6 Xyz like Stellar Ptolemy M7 or Photon Strike Bouncer, since Ignition Beast is level 6. But I have tested those cards out in this deck before. I have played this deck for a very long time, but those cards are very situational. I've hardly ever gone into them for the amount of time that I've actually tried out those cards, so that is why I have omitted them. I do find the rank 4s more useful, and they're more like live in a lot of different situations. So now to wrap it up with the side deck. So starting off, we have the 2 Artifact Lancia for, of course, Necros, Spiritual Beasts, and Infernoids. The 2 Effect Failure to try to negate those annoying monster effects that could disrupt our board. The 1 Thunder King Ryo to try to slow down those search heavy decks to give us time to get to our combo. The free MST for annoying back row like Stasis Telernova Alpha, Secret Move, Royal Decree, Vanity's Emptiness, Fiendish Chain, things like that. Then the 2 Book of Eclipse and 1 Book of Moon. This is really useful for flipping monsters like Naturia Barkion, El Shaddai Winda, Fossil Dyna, Vanity's Fiend, Majesty's Fiend. Basically monsters that could get in the way of our combo. And it is useful because we can also chain this in response to Valor trying to stop our Blaze Phoenix or Ignition Beast to try to protect those effects. Then we also have the 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror for Burning Abyss and Shaddolls, the 1 Chaos Trapple for Denko and other light and dark based decks, and finally the 1 Vanity's Emptiness, since we can actually activate Fusion Gate while Emptiness is on the board, since there's no mandatory effect that requires you to special summon. It's an optional effect. And then Chain Material doesn't actually allow us to special summon, so we can still activate it. And then once Chain Material goes to the graveyard, Vanity's Emptiness will of course go to the graveyard with it, and we can use Emptiness as basically a stun/stall card to buy us some time. So that is it for the deck profile, guys. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like the video if you did, and also let me know what you think about the deck in the comment section below. As always, feel free to subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. And also let me know in the comment section below what you think about Blaze Phoenix for the upcoming ban list. Do you think it is a card that needs to be hit to 1 or be banned outright for the good of the game? Or do you think it is a card that should be left alone, at least for now, to see what it does with some of the cards that will be coming out here in the near future? So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.